Thank you for joining us on our journey here to preserve the history of mixed martial arts. When I wanted to take on this project, I needed help. I brought in one of my favorite matchmakers, Miguel Iterade, and the MMA detective, Mike Davis. So to do this, we've been able to preserve history. Welcome and enjoy.
You don't gotta lean over. Just talk normal. You should be all right.
Yeah, it'll get you from
Hey, listen, Mike, if you're going to be bossing me around like my fucking girlfriend, listen.
Yeah, check that.
This thing ain't going to go nowhere, motherfucker. Boss me around. I don't like being bossed around. Never liked being bossed around. That's what made me motherfucking champ.
Yeah.
Uncoachable.
Bullies. Uncoachable.
Uh-huh.
Do I have regrets? I don't know. Yeah, but mistakes. Different choices I would have made, but I did all right. I did all right with my own coaching, and I picked my coaches.
Yeah.
I picked my fucking coaches.
I thought the dog was gonna chew your hat.
Who I listen to.
Yeah.
Don't chew my hats.
Yeah, right.
Don't chew my hat, Tank. Beat it.
So, Mark, you started your wrestling career at Fremont St. Joseph Central Catholic High School. You once stayed a few times there. What was that your entry into wrestling, or did it start prior to that?
I gotta think about the question.
It's okay.
It's a complicated question.
Here, let me get one more. Let me ask you one more time. I'll ask you a different way.
I'll
Just edit it.
I'll settle it.
Let me just flow and
Yeah, just
you
go.
can
Yeah.
chop up.
Here we go.
Think about my answers and flow with them.
Here, I got it.
If you
I
want
got
to do
it.
just straight answers,
No, here we
question,
go.
I can do that.
I got
but
this. No, I want everything.
I'll spit out the answer and you edit it. You get the question and all of a sudden you edit my answer.
I got it. Here we go.
I think he
complicated.
actually wants you to abbreviate the name of his high school. I don't think.
Okay, we'll do that. All right.
I don't give a fuck. That's my high school. I'm very, very proud of
Should be.
St. Joe Central
Yeah.
Catholic High School. That's where I did get my start.
So Mark, you got your start.
You want me answering the question?
I got
Or are
you.
you going to be in the video, Mike Davis?
I might be a little bit, but you got your
Aw,
start.
man.
You got your start.
Serious?
Your first taste of championship, like your palate got wet with the championship.
Yeah.
The first time
Yeah.
at Fremont St. Joseph High School.
That wasn't the first time my palate got wet.
When was it?
My first time was, I don't know, when I came out of my mama's shoot. No, I came out and the doctor slapped me in the ass, made me cry. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And,
You knew right then, huh?
I knew right then I need to get bigger and stronger because I'm going to...
Come back and straighten that motherfucker out.
I'm gonna get that doctor back. That was really, truthfully, that's the way I thought.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't remember day 1, but I remember day 5. 5 years of age, I knew I didn't like nobody being able to intimidate me, maybe bully me. I didn't get bullied, but I mean, even just a bigger dude being able to
Push it around.
intimidate
Yeah.
me. So I knew at a young age I need to get bigger, stronger, and faster. And I lived with that for pretty much getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was my answer to all my problems.
Been a way of life. Yeah.
Bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah.
And I could do 100 push-ups when I was 5. I do remember that. My memory's not that great, but
Yeah.
I remember when I was 5 years old, I could do 100 in a row
Damn.
because I got a dollar bill from my uncle.
Yeah.
And a dollar bill back then was a lot of money. And maybe that's why it came out missing in the morning. Because my daddy needed it. But my dad, he didn't have to push me. My dad didn't have to push me. Because I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a NFL football player, Major League Baseball player, Olympic champion, but I also wanted to be the toughest man in the world.
Yeah.
There was no sport, but I still wanted to be that guy because I didn't want nobody to be able to bully me.
You put the skills together before there was a such thing as MMA. Before you'd even seen
You had the
heard of it.
mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrestling gave me the mindset. Football was great.
Yeah.
love killing people.
Yeah.
But it was, you had 11 teammates or 10 teammates.
Yeah.
Baseball, same thing. Wrestling, I fell in love with that because it was me. We had a team.
Yeah.
We were a team, but when it comes down to it, it's you in a singlet. And when I started, we used to wear tights.
Yeah.
I loved them in tights. It's like a gi.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they weren't so cute. So they took the tights off, and I wanted to be the best in the world. At everything, not just wrestling. Football, baseball, wrestling, and fighting. There was no sport, but that's what I wanted to be.
So Fremont St. Joseph Central Catholic High School, you won 2 state titles, and I think you got put in their Hall of Fame as well. Am I correct with that?
Who's Hall of Fame?
Fremont
St. Joe, my high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, they finally put me in. They had to think about it because I made some mistakes, but yeah, I finally got in there. They're only ever state champion at the time. But sometimes it's not just what you do in athletics, it's what you do outside. And
So they had to wait for the statute of limitations to run out.
I made some mistakes, and yeah, I got inducted. It was a big day for my parents, big day for my family. But at the same time, I got to go back to St. Joe, and now I have to get up in front of people. I got to give a speech. I didn't like doing that. I didn't feel comfortable getting up in front of people, talking. I felt comfortable on the football field, on the baseball field, and I felt real comfortable walking out to a wrestling match. That's where I was comfortable with. You got to do the other things. You know, I got up there and did my best and thanked everybody. Thank my coaches. Thank Fremont. Thank Fremont St. Joe. But I was looking, always I was looking for the bigger goal. You achieve your goals. I became state champ. Are you kidding me? I became a state champ probably before I thought I would be one, sophomore year in high school.
In one of the toughest states in the country.
For wrestling, for sure.
Ohio is the, well, I'm going to throw out Pennsylvania. Ohio, Pennsylvania, young kids, it's the toughest wrestling state in the country. But what my issue was, I went to Fremont St. Joe. My mom was at small Catholic school. My daddy was from Fremont Ross, the D1 big school in town. Well, my mom won out. I went to St. Joe. I had to wear a blazer and a tie and gray pants every damn day. But had to go to church 3 times a week. You know, it's good for me, real good for me. But I was always thinking about after school. What am I going to do after school? I'm not going to go chase chicks. I'm going to prepare to be the best. So my daddy, I was doing push-ups, all that stuff as a 5-year-old. When I was 10, my dad he got me a set of weights, put them down in the basement. Not a lot of people were lifting weights at the time, but I knew bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah, was your dad into lifting too, or that was just your weights? Like that was just your space now?
My dad was a great athlete. He was a great athlete. He was a tailback, state wrestler, but he came down with polio in the 8th grade. So back then, polio killed people. It didn't kill him. He fought it. When he came back, he didn't have his speed anymore. It took a lot from his legs. He didn't have his speed. So my dad at 155, 160 pounds, then moved him up into the tackle position. That's where the big boys play.
Yeah.
When my dad was a big boy. And he's looking to pick up my mom, who was a great catch, the cutie pie at St. Joe. And if he graded out the highest on the offensive line at the football game, he could give free tickets away to the cinema. Movie tickets. That's how he took my mama out, because he got him, because he graded out the best at 155. And he was a wrestler, but he didn't push any of those on me, it just came. That's what I wanted to do, he didn't have to push it, but he was out there always helping me improve. But a lot of times I went down to that basement, I call it my dungeon. I went down there and learned how to lift weights on my own. And there's better ways to lift weights, but there ain't no wrong way to lift weights. I got strong.
Yeah.
And I did it every day. I come home from practice. You come home from baseball practice, you eat some food. It's real easy. It's real easy to just go hang out in your bedroom and chill and do whatever you're gonna do in there. Well, no, I'm gonna find my way down to that basement and get myself strong. That was my answer. Get stronger and beat that dude. Just beat you.
So from high school, Mark, you took state twice, your sophomore and your senior year, and you go to OSU. Was that on a scholarship?
I gave him a nice little cut, blood, secured the victory. Secured the victory. But then I got separated.
Went to the judges' decision.
I secured the victory. But the chief of police in Fremont, I
should have raised your hand.
Yeah.
We should go over there and get a hand raise, make it official. I mean, what, 25, 30 years later, we're missing out on this, you know?
Yeah.
We've got to correct history.
Well, the chief of police, I played baseball with his son. So I had that going for me.
Uh-huh.
You know, because a lot of these Fremonters were not happy about Mark Coleman's attitude. And I don't blame them. You know, I was a feisty dude, and I sometimes regret being so feisty. I didn't bully people.
You know, look, if I had to, okay, so you're 25 or 26 at this time, so I'm imagining Kevin Randleman is somewhere in your life.
He comes in the picture real soon. If you let me finish my fucking story.
Right.
Kevin Randleman comes back. Kevin Randleman came with me to the scene of the crime 2 years later.
That's what I want to know.
This is a legendary story.
All right, so there we go.
So anyways, I stand up, and the chief of police is in my face, and I had to back. It's over. You know, fight's over, this and that. So me and my people, we went to our after fight party, and him and his people, they went to I had a home of Mark Coleman sign sitting at the corner of the fairgrounds when you enter the town, right? National champion, boom. Well, me and my people went to our place and we celebrated victory, in my opinion. Not really victory, but that last punch and drew a little cut, I'd say that's a check. But him and his people went to my sign, and they could have took spray paint and really did some graffiti on it. I would have got a kick out of it if they did. But what they did do, they took a bed sheet, home of Mike Overmyer. And they strapped it over top of my name. I didn't know this. I'm out here hanging out, went to bed, woke up in the morning, and I had to recap what all happened last night. I had to make sure I did win because I thought, oh, did you lose last night? No. But so I go into Fremont. Hey, a secret like that is not a secret. The whole town
knew.
The whole town had heard about it, but he got his story out first. You got your ass whooped last night, Mark Coleman. I was crushed. I couldn't have that on my record. No. My daddy was undefeated on the streets. I'm going to be undefeated on the streets. I didn't lose last night, but everywhere I went, people brought up that story to me. So I spent 2 years defending myself. And I had a scratch on my face. I mean, that kind of... He did get 2 takedowns, but they were kind of...
You got the reversal.
You're responsible for what happens to you. He got the takedowns because I should have been in my stance.
Yeah.
Don't ever get out of your stance.
Ever.
I didn't think... No excuses. I didn't think he was going to 2-hand chuck me. And boom. But I did recover very fast. I was on top. But everywhere so this drove me nuts. I'm 25 years old, and this consumed my brain that my whole hometown thinks I got whooped by Mike Overmyer. I didn't get whooped. So I'm going back for revenge someday. So this is 2 years later. So 2 years later.
Some very particular day.
The same fairgrounds, the same week.
Same party?
And I got a new friend. I didn't meet him. I didn't meet Kevin Ramlin. I just needed him to be with me. And so Ramlin, Ray Mendoza, he talked to two badass killers.
So you went there to settle the
So
score.
we got in the car. I said, I'm heading back to Fremont. I gotta settle this shit. Then I picked up my buddy Scott Sowers, a big, well-known.
I'm about to get arrested. I need you guys to watch.
A well-known tough guy. I have my 70-year-old great uncle with me who was just hanging out with me for.
We'll call him the referee. We'll call him the referee.
Oh, he was the referee.
Okay,
He
okay.
begged me to chill out. But so we get there and it's early. It's just about dusk. The sun's just settling, and it ain't time for it's 1 o'clock. The last fight happened at 1 a.m. I came into town at 9. This were 8 p.m. The sun's settling. And I pulled into there was no big party going on. It was just, there's the camper.
Yeah.
And here's my group. Let's do it again, my friend. And then the winner goes tells the story. Somehow, like I said, small town, people heard I was coming. People heard I was coming. I didn't know this, so I pulled in there. I told Random, I said, go get that dude out of the camper. He went up there. He was nowhere to be found. Maybe he was scared. I don't know. He wasn't there. But his wife and his wife's friends, they were there. And I noticed they all had weapons in their clubs.
I still put my money on you and Randall, man. I don't care what they got.
This is an easy fight. Them weapons are just going to get in the way, for sure. But I realized, damn. And then sure enough, the same cop came. 2 years later, he came before anything went down, and he got my face, and he said, "Come on, Mark, we need to go up on this hill and have a little talk." And he told me, he goes, I thought I was the toughest guy in the world. But one day I went up on the hill with this big dude, and I lost, Mark. You just got to accept it. And I'm like, wait, I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, wait a second.
He's not even talking about legal stuff. He's like a coach trying to train for the next fight.
He just told me I had to accept losing to Mike Overmyer. And then I lost my mind. Look, Dana, I didn't lose. I'm like, damn, I can't believe it. What am I going to do? Because the Fremonters weren't so happy with Mark Coleman's antics at this time.
Well, now we know Overmyer left the toughest person in his family, his wife, to fight the second fight for him. He left his wife there unattended.
You can come to that conclusion if you want. Maybe he was just busy taking a piss or something.
We'll call her a corner person in this fight.
They all knew I was coming. I didn't have no clue, but I realize now, when the word gets out. But anyways, it didn't happen. I walked into the fairgrounds. I walked into the fairgrounds, and I'm walking through the fairgrounds, and I can feel eyeballs all. I can see the police saying, Mark Coleman's here. I'm walking in, and finally, the chief of police comes out. He says, Coleman, come here. We got to talk about this. And he took me into his office. He said, what in the fuck are you concerned about this for?
You're about to go to the Olympics.
I said, because I'm undefeated. He said, who cares? Who cares? Dude, let it go. And well, it was exactly what I needed, because that night at 2 years of just every day eating my mind up there, everybody thought I got whooped. I couldn't handle it. And then I went back there. I let it be known. And Dana Dorsey, chief of police,
Raise your hand. As far as I'm concerned.
Well, I walked out and I said, he's right. The fuck are you worried about that for? You got the Olympics coming up, dude.
So catch a case.
So whatever. Kind of relieve my brain from that. There's always going to be curveballs. I couldn't hit a curveball very well in baseball. Luckily, I stole signs like the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
But legally, first base coach. If that catcher leaves out to one for fastball, two for curveball, if he leaves it hanging out there, that's part of the game. You don't want to do it with a video like the Astros did. They're in a lot of trouble now. But when I knew a fastball was coming, I could smash that son of a bitch. But I could smash that fastball, but couldn't hit a curveball very well, so I just laid off. So when you know a curveball is coming, they always are in life. Prepare. One battle. You think you win that battle. You think you're. I felt good for a little while, but guess what? The next battle was right around the corner. The very next day. Preparation for anything you're going to do.
So speaking of preparation, your senior year at OSU, you transferred in. You're with a whole new group of people. I'm sure that kind of had to affect your psyche to a degree. I mean, you're the new kid on the block.
What's the question?
So, all right, you already want to do a double leg on me.
No, I'm just curious. So you're saying I came there
intimidated? No, my thing is
a little bit.
How difficult was it for you to adjust from Miami of Ohio to Ohio State? There's a big jump.
Look, when I was at Miami of Ohio, by the time I was a junior in college, I was preparing to be the toughest man on the planet since I was 5 years of age. I never declared myself that as a freshman in college. I still felt like there was most of my wrestling buddies, because I always held them in high standards. Few wrestlers that I probably can't take yet. Sophomore year, I got bigger, I got stronger, I'm faster. I had a great sophomore year at Miami. It didn't make All-American, came close. I got bigger, stronger, faster in the off-season. My junior year, I ended up fourth in the country, All-American from Miami, Ohio. Nobody knew Mark Coleman. Well, now I'm on the map. Now everybody knows Mark Coleman because the three guys ahead of me are all seniors. I'm coming back ranked number one in the country.
Oh, wow.
As a senior. Well, I knew my ticket was punched. I loved my coach at Miami, but at the same time, I butted heads with everybody. But I just kind of let him know my Olympic dream, I need to get out of Miami, Ohio, because I'm looking at bigger goals. Ohio State, now they're going to take me. I'm coming back national champ. So yes, I kind of got through to them and transferred. And well, after I took fourth in the country, that's when I declared myself the toughest man in the planet. I thought I was. I don't know if I was, but I certainly thought I could whoop anybody's ass in the world. Even my bigger, badass wrestlers, I thought I had a little extra. Take away the wrestling rules, I'll get you, Bruce Baumgartner, you 275-pound monster wrestler. I'm a fighter. But
and eventually you prove you could do that, too.
Yeah.
Eventually. So I transferred to Ohio State, and yes, it's a change of scenery.
Were you intimidated by the change?
Well, I just not intimidated by the people I had to face. I already knew I could beat everybody in that room. I was intimidated by transferring to a big college, a big, huge campus. I got to keep my grades up. The problem that I felt was I got to stay eligible. I didn't like school. Let's be real. I was just trying to stay eligible to be a national champ, to be an Olympic champ, and I still had dreams of playing in the NFL. I went to college on a wrestling scholarship, but my original plan was take a year off from football, get a little bigger, stronger, faster, and then try out for the football team. Well, I found wrestling to be pretty much a year-round deal. That's one of my regrets. I wish I would have walked on that football field, because I honestly believe I would have been playing linebacker in the NFL. I transferred to Ohio State, bigger school, bigger campus. I was stressed about that kind of stuff, As far as when I walked into that restroom at Ohio State, oh no, I feel real comfortable walking into pretty much any gym. And at that point, I walked in there, and I'm the man.
So
And I'm going to show everybody else how to become the man. I was always a coach myself. I was called uncoachable. I listened to some coaches, big names.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you got to pick and choose who you listen to, because some coaches don't know what they're doing. But I have my own game plan.
like that hat you got on, you know,
West Side Barbell.
You listen to the right coach, you know.
I had that offer.
Yeah.
I stayed away from Louis Simmons. I
Yeah.
was intimidated by Louis Simmons. Big mistake. I should have hooked up with Louis Simmons. I was training hard. I wasn't afraid to train hard. I heard about these crazy 100-set squats at Louis Simmons's, and I'm 35-ish. I didn't go do it, but that 100 squat set, oh, it was as hard as it sounds. Imagine doing 100-set squats.
Yeah.
I avoided it. I was working hard, but he would have turned me into a. I did pretty good, but if I could go back, I would have learned. I learned from a lot. I had some great coaches. Russ Helson, Dan Gable, he's my man. Dan Gable, I had him for 2 weeks, the Pan American Games. That man changed my whole outlook on everything. Dave Schultz, Fox
Catcher, yeah.
He was 10 years older than me, but he took me under his wing. He guided me. And Pat Militech,
Those are all special people.
Pat Militech, I'm naming some big names.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave anybody out, but these are names that pop into my head. Pat Militech, I'm coming off a 4-fight losing streak. I'm in the Pride Grand Prix. I prepared for 8 months. Everybody counted me out. Everybody said the Hammer's dead at 32 years of age. I'm washed up over the hill dead. Now, I just got to fix things. I started fixing them on my own. I had an 8-month training camp. Pride put me in that tournament. They did not want me to win that tournament. They put me in that tournament because I had a big name. They wanted Mark Kerr to win, Igor Vovchanchyn to win, maybe Sakuraba to win. They're going to put me in there as a big name. Well, I'm going to ruin your plans, Pride, because I trained like it was a 6-month wrestling season getting ready for nationals. I grinded. And in the last 2 weeks, I called Militech and said, he'd always been offering, come on up here, Coleman, learn something, dude. I don't think I got this. But no, I decided to cruise into Militech just for the last 2 weeks of camp. But usually, a lot of times, the last 2 weeks of camps, I'm still trying to get in shape, get my cardio up there. But my cardio was on point already. So Militech had 2 weeks with me to basically learn what the hell I could do and what I couldn't do. And the dude was a master, and he figured out the hammer. And when I was in that cage, I didn't listen to my cornerman, uncoachable. I didn't listen to my cornerman. And I didn't think I was listening to Pat Militech. I was out there on autopilot, instinctually doing it. But then when I watched the fights in Japan, it's silent. You can hear everything. Well, I didn't realize it, but when I went back and watched my 3 fights to the finals, Pat Militech was calling shit out to me because he knew me. He learned me real quick. And I was doing it, not knowing that I was hearing it from him. And it was on point. I owe him some paycheck for that. I apologize.
Thank you. We'll call it thank you. Don't say paycheck. We'll say
No,
thank you.
I owe him a paycheck. But man, thank you, Pat Militech. Thank you, Pat Militech. And we did it. We did it, man. I need to shut some motherfuckers up. Everybody said the Hammer's dead. I'm not dead. You just don't know it. And then I came in and shut some people up. And let me tell you something. I had some good highs in my life, but that was a good fucking high because I'll let you know when I'm finished. I was still saying that when I was 44, 45, but finally the Lord pulled the plug on me. You gotta get a hip replacement. It's over, Coleman. It was just pulled for me so quick. So I did my whole life. Wrestling, be Olympic champion, be the best, be the best. I came close. I took second in the world in wrestling. Damn, it was great. At the time it felt sad, but really after about a couple hours, I'm like, I can't believe I took second. You know, it ain't as bad as it sounds. Losing sucks, but this guy was better. He was flat out better than me. Then I'm walking into the cage 30 days later after Richard Hamilton found me at the Olympic trials in '96, lost, snatched me up into a room. I told Richard Hamilton, I'll beat the hell out of Don Fry. I'll beat the hell out of Mark Kerr. I'll beat the hell out of Tom Erickson. Where do I sign that horribly one-sided contract? Which I didn't even read. I didn't.
At least you admit it. Yeah.
He looked at me and said, well, don't you want to take this home? Let your attorneys look at it? I said, I don't care what it says. I want in that tournament in 30 days, and I'm sure Mark Kerr and Tom Erickson, I'm sure they want to take it home and let their attorneys look at it. But we only have 35 days, dude. I'm going to be walking in a cage now. And I just say, well, just so we know, the kind of game plan is, because I was uncoachable. I didn't like, dude, this guy wanted to teach me everything about MMA. I kind of already got my game plan down, buddy. But he said, I said, the game plan is for me to blast this dude with a double leg and then pound the fucking shit out of him. And he looked at me like,
Sounds like it would win.
he had a big smile. He had a big fake set of teeth. Richard Hamilton, he's like, well, yeah, kind of, but I'm going to show you some other stuff in there. I'm like, okay, yeah, you show me some other stuff. That's fine.
All right. So you meet Richard Hamilton at the Olympics, and he's your first manager, and he also, does he, like, at one time Hammer House was a brick and mortar gym. Am I correct?
What the fuck does brick and mortar mean?
An actual place to work out at.
Wasn't just the name of a team.
Wasn't just the name of a team. You guys had an actual spot.
Is this a trick question?
I'm trying to get you to talk
I don't
about.
tell people.
I'm trying to get you to talk about Richard Hamilton.
Everybody wants to know where the Hammer House is located.
Yeah.
Well, it's invite only.
Okay.
The Hammer House was invite only. So, wherever the Hammer House gym was, wherever the fuck I was at.
It was a mobile gym.
Wherever I was at, that was the Hammer House gym. No, they're okay. So the Hammer House gym. I thought of that because I went to UFC 10, 11, 12. All of a sudden, things are getting big. Wrestlers ain't used to this kind of cameras in your face and all that. It was a good feeling. Wow. We didn't get noticed. All those wrestlers, we all knew we were the baddest MFers on the planet. Okay, but we didn't get noticed because it's boring. If you don't know how to wrestle, you ain't going to watch two dudes they want to call it hugging. Trust me, it's some hard-ass hugging. But the karate school in every corner of every city, there's a karate school. Us wrestlers didn't really love that idea because we knew we could walk in there and smash every one of them. But they got the school was karate. I respect karate. But if that's all you know is karate, you're in big fucking trouble. And so after the Olympic trials, I win UFC 10, 11, 12. And all of a sudden I get a phone call from somebody over in Brazil. Hey, Mark Coleman. We want to fly you to Brazil and pay you to come make an appearance. Business class? You know, you're going to fly me first class to Brazil and pay me to come hang out? Man, this is a different world. This ain't going to the Sun-Kissed Open wrestling tournament and having 4 dudes stuffed in your own room. No, they're going to fly me to Brazil. I'm going to have my own room, business class, and they're going to pay me to hang out and watch some fights. I said, yeah, sounds great. But then they said, well, do you have any fighters? I just simply said, yeah, I got a lot of boys. A lot of my friends can fight. Simple as that. And so So that's when I called Kevin the Monster Randleman up. We hadn't seen each other for 2 years. He graduated from college. He went back to his hometown. I'm at Ohio State. We're both trying to find our way in this life. And I said, "What's up, Kev?" I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing good, man. Training hard." Always said he's training hard. He might have been swinging a 40 ounce. Who the fuck knows? But I said, well, I just got an offer over in Brazil, 8-man tournament. I said, "You want to fight?" He tells a different version of the story. If you go back and read his version on my first call to Kevin Randleman, he claims he said, "Well, I don't know, this and that." No. Randleman, I remember exactly what you said. You said, "Fuck yeah, I'm in. I'm in." And I said, "Well, listen, dude, what have you been up to? Ain't seen you in 2 years. Training hard, I'm in great shape." That was always his answer. I said, "Well, look, dude, if I'm going to do this, because I know the people that can put in this tournament. I got a lot of friends that can fight." Random, the first thing that popped in my head. Royce Alger was right up there to it. Royce was my good friend, Iowa. But I said, "All right." I said, "Well, guess what, Kev? You're going to have to move back down to Columbus tomorrow," which tomorrow was an exaggerated answer. He ain't coming anywhere in one day. But I said, "Kev, I'll put you in this tournament, but you need to get your ass back to Columbus because I need to keep an eye on your ass." And we did it. He came back to Columbus, and we had a 35-day training camp, and he wasn't in great shape, like he said. He looked like it. He always looked like it.
Yeah.
He was jacked. He was beautiful. This and that. But we're going to get him. We got 35 days to get that heart strong, Kevin. So I pushed him for 30 days, and I never seen a man. He was that freakishly talented. I couldn't break the dude. I could break him, but I mean, anything I asked, he did. And in 35 days, he went from a monster to a super monster. And we flew into Brazil, and we took names. Kevin Randleman took names. The Hammer House is here. That's when I started the Hammer House. I said, "Well, call it the Hammer House." It was me, Randleman, and the Hammer House, and I just added names. I kept getting calls. People that need fighters, and I got a lot of people fights. I don't like naming names because I forget people that get pissed, but Brendan Hinkle was a main member of the Hammer House. Randleman, Royce Alger.
Scott Shipman.
Scott Shipman was early on. He had a ton of talent. He could have been a killer, but tough business.
I think Nick Nutter was another one, right?
Wes Sims came along. Nick Nutter. People don't know Nick Nutter, but I was coaching him in college wrestling. I had my, he never been in a street fight in his life, but he's tough. So I lined him up a fight over in Israel.
Wow.
8-man tournament over in Israel. His first fight, he's got about 3-4 months of Hammer House training. I don't know.
So accomplished college wrestler, but new to Hammer House, new to fighting.
Everybody had that itch. After I walked into that cage, every wrestler in the world, Dan Severn started it. Don Frye was a wrestler, but I was the first monster wrestler who promoted wrestling. We're coming. And guess what? After I walked out of UFC 10, I won UFC 10. When I'm walking out, I can't believe the cops weren't coming. I can't believe I got a belt. I can't believe I'm getting paid. I can't believe people are just really happy that I just beat the hell out of 3 dudes. But as I'm walking out, I said, "Damn, this sport, this is going to be the biggest sport in the world someday. If they can battle the lawsuits." Because they were going through human cockfighting and all this and that. If they could get around that, I see this being a worldwide sport. And what else came to my head is I'm like, damn, the Russians are coming. Because the Russians in wrestling, hey man, it's on. And I just transitioned into the Russians are going to be coming. And They came. The Russians came.
They eventually got here.
Igor came. Igor was.
Vovchemchin was incredible.
I got a losing record against the Russians. Nothing but respect in wrestling and in fighting. But in fighting, my first Russian was Igor. Ukraine, Russia.
Legit.
And he was a killer. I mean, he was a killer, knocking people out. I shook his hand. I watched Mark Kerr fight him. I was in Kerr's corner. I'm scouting Kerr. I'm coaching Kerr, but I know there's a good chance me and Kerr are going to have to go at it someday. But I'm also scouting Igor Vovchemchin. And he beat Kerr, but my confidence went through the roof at watching that fight because I knew simple little adjustments, and I'm not going to stand toe-to-toe with Igor. How stupid would that be? I am going to take him down, and I'm going to ground and pound the shit out of Igor, which I ended up doing. So Nick Nutter, we'll go back to Nick Nutter, Phil Brony, throw these names in there because people get pissed that I forget. Hammerhouse is an extended family. There's a lot of members in the Hammerhouse. Kerr was a Hammerhouse member. Mark Coleman, Kevin Randall, and Mark Kerr, 3 Hammerhouse UFC champions. Pretty badass shit right there. Mike Van Arsdale, throw that name out there. He was a savage. And the list goes on. I didn't discriminate. I mean, I take aim at Matt Brown was from Columbus, Ohio. I was at his first fight, amateur first fight. I don't remember much about it, but I was there. He actually neck cranked the guy, just like I did Dan Severn. He brings that up to me now because we never. All Matt Brown would have had to say is, "Can I come train with you, motherfuckers?" Hell yeah.
There would have been a big weight difference. You're listening to a lot of heavyweights.
It doesn't matter. I would have taught him wrestling. He was a stand-up fighter and jiu-jitsu, but stand-up was his specialty. He needed to learn wrestling. Everybody needed to learn wrestling. When the wrestlers came, there was a little bit of drag period. Everybody wanted to be like Mark Coleman. But I was a ground and pounder. I wasn't a lay prayer. But now these other wrestlers, they all seen how easy it is. I made it look easy. It ain't that easy, fellas. And lay and pray became relevant. Everybody's saying we need to change the rules. It's getting too boring. I said give it some time because everybody's going to have to learn how to wrestle. That's going to do the rule changing. You don't want to. If you're a stand-up fighter, you want to keep it on the stand-up. You better learn how to stop takedown. And that's what everybody's pretty much learned how to do. That's why stand-up dominates. Only reason it dominates is because both guys know how to wrestle. And people want to be exciting. But if you take somebody down, ground and pound is exciting if you do it properly. But when you lay and pray, I understand. My boy Jorge Masvidal, no crotch sniffing.
Yeah. All right. So you brought up a name earlier that I'd kind of like to expand on, Richard Hamilton. There's a lot of like mystery, and I guess it's just kind of clouded, his involvement with you and everybody else and his dealings. Could you expand on him a little bit, like who he was to you, what inevitably happened with him?
Who?
Richard Hamilton.
I don't know. Who is he?
The guy that signed your contract for the Olympics?
Oh, man. That was CTE kicking in.
Come on, man.
No.
It's a good story, dude.
Richard
Come
Hamilton,
on, man.
Okay, I'm at the 96 Olympic trials. I made the 92 Olympic team. After 92, I kind of took a left-hand turn, curveball. I was very, very disappointed. I choked. I lost. Took 7th. When I was crushed, I planned on winning them damn things. 27, in my prime. I was sick. I lived in the gym for 27 years. So I decided I'm going to take some time off. I took time off from the wrestling match. I didn't sniff a wrestling mat for a long time. I didn't go on no freaking runs. When I say I took time off, I never missed a weight training session. Bigger, stronger. So I was in the weight room. I wasn't wrestling. I was sick of wrestling. I burned out finally. But I kept getting bigger and stronger. And I'd seen the first UFC. Holy shit. That's my money, Horace Gracie. That's my money. Ah! How do I get in? How do I get in? and it put a little spark back in me. Started training a little bit more. I mean, time went fast. Next thing you know, it's 1996, and I'm still not in the UFC. And I'm going to try out for the Olympic team in 1996. And I drew Mark Kerr first round. When after 92, after I retired, semi-retirement, whatever you want to call it, Mark Kerr took over my spot. He was the man for 2 years. And right behind him was Kurt Angle. I mean, these names are very big names. Kurt Angle was chasing me. I'm out. Now he's chasing Mark Kerr. So that battle was going on. But now all of a sudden, 1995, guess who reappears? I reappeared. I showed up at a tournament in Sunkist Open. I was bigger and stronger. I didn't have no gas tank. Kurt Angle had the gas tank. He could go forever. Well, I was bigger and stronger, Kurt. I'm back. I beat him in a tournament in 1995. I beat him in a tournament 6 months leading up to the World Trials. I beat him only 2-0, but it was the type of 2-0 that sent Kurt Angle's mind into fuck. I can't believe this dude's back. You know, I was doing a lot of stalling, but you're allowed to stall in wrestling. He couldn't score on me, man. I got 2 points. The match is over, Kurt. Yeah. I went back to Columbus, and I didn't stay on task. I didn't grind like I wanted to win an Olympic championship anymore. I thought I was playing around doing this and that, but really I didn't have the eye. I showed back up at the World Trials, and Kurt Angle won him. He beat Mark Kerr finally. He went on to win a world championship. Same year I beat him with very little training. You know what I mean? But pulled it off. Kurt Angle, he made some adjustments. He came back 6 months later, big and strong. And I beat Mark Kerr. And then 96 comes around. We're in the Olympic trials. The UFC's getting closer. I got to get in there now. I mean, I'm pushing the panic button. All these trouble. You know, I got to get in there before this shit gets banned. So I go to the Olympic trials. I'm going to give it a half-assed attempt to try to make the Olympic team. I didn't prepare properly for an Olympic trials championship. And I had Kerr first round. I take Kerr out. I beat him 1-0 first round. I wrestled Kerr 3 times. I beat him. Tech fought him in college. He was a freshman. I was a senior. The year I won nationals, I beat Kerr in the first round. People don't realize that. He should have came to Ohio State. He went to Syracuse instead. Another great wrestler at Ohio State lost to another state. But he's at Syracuse. I beat him. And then I wrestled him again a few years later. I beat him like every time it got closer. Tech fall. It was like 10-2. But I gave up a takedown to Kerr. I don't like giving up takedowns. He took me down. This young boy took me down. He's on my radar. And then 96, then he took over the weight class when I retired. Kurt Angle's chasing him. Now 96 Olympic trials is Kerr and Angle. They're the big names. A big name, but even though I didn't do the work. And I took Kerr out in the first round, 1-0. Very, very 2 big monster dudes. Just can't make one of mistakes. The upper weights, they don't do as much back in the day. Mm-hmm. Lightweights all over the place. That's why wrestling was a little boring, because you pick and choose when you're going to explode. But so I beat Kerr. Angle was very happy about that, because Kerr was the only guy that had a chance to beat Angle. When I took him out, Angle was like, yes. But he's still worried about me. Damn, I got to deal with that Coleman. I lost in the semifinals. I got thrown, I got pinned. I took Kerr out, I took myself out. Kurt Angle wins in the finals pretty much easily. Goes on to be the Olympic champion. But after that loss, I really wasn't that crushed by not making the Olympic team, because I knew deep down I didn't deserve it. I didn't put in the work. And I was thinking about the UFC. Now I had to find a way to get in that damn cage. And out of nowhere, Richard Hamilton, he was there scouting people. He was ahead of the game. He knew
wrestling was going to be.
He knew where the champions were. He's seen Sever. He's seen what Sever can do. He's seen what Downfry can do. But he came, and the UFC said to him, "We'll give you a position in UFC 10." He showed up at the Olympic trials. I lost. Kerr lost. Erickson lost. While I'm walking off the mats, he introduced himself. He took me into this room, introduced himself. He has a slot 35 days later, UFC 10. He's got a position. He's got to decide who's going to put in that position. And I looked at him and I made it clear that I'm the man for the job. Who the hell else you looking at? He mentioned Kerr and Erickson, who both lost. I said, I'll kill them. I'll kill those two dudes. I seen Don Fry fight. I will kill Don Fry. I'm the man for the job. I'm the man. I'm talking my way in here.
Yeah.
I want in that show. And he slapped over his contract, and I said, where do I sign? I don't need to read it. Well, it took me fucking a couple of days to read that damn thing. I said, I don't care what it says. I want in. You know, because the UFC's about to get extinct. I felt that. I need to get in before it gets extinct. I don't care what this contract says. I'm sure Mark Kerr and Tom Erickson both want to take it home and show their attorney. Well, I don't need no attorney. I'm the man, Hamilton. Pick me. Yes, you can be my coach. I'm not going to listen to you, but you can be my coach.
What was the background on him, the controversial background?
Well, you know, I didn't know who he was. He showed up, a real nice guy, religious guy, very religious, very polite, and you know, whatever. You know, I believe, you know, you learn not to trust so much as you get older. You need to keep your guard up. But, wow, what a nice, cool guy, you know. And flew me out to Arizona, had a place to stay. I'm training in the gym, getting ready to walk into that cage. Because obviously I won out. You know, Erickson and Kerr, they didn't want in that day. They had to think about it. I knew I wanted in, so he picked me. I flew out to Arizona. I'm hanging out with Richard Hamilton, and he's a pastor at a church. He's a pastor, just a nice guy. You know, trying to show me a little bit about the armbar. I had to figure that out a little bit, so I did pay attention a little bit there. But basically, I'm going to ground and pound these motherfuckers. And he shows me. We go to the show. I do that. During the fights, I never heard the man cuss or nothing. Never. But when he didn't like Don Fry because he had actually cornered Don Fry in UFC 9, sort of. But Don Fry left him. Dan Severn left him. Why? I don't know. I don't know why they did. Now I'm in the corner fighting Don Fry. I'm in the finals fighting Don Fry, who he didn't like because he left him. And I hear Richard Hamilton, a different Richard Hamilton. He's yelling, kill that motherfucker, Coleman. Smash him. How's that feel, Don Fry? He was feeling. I was getting ignored. I'm like, damn, who's this dude, you know?
The devil's coming.
I don't listen to my cornerman, but, you know, I picked up on that. He's just telling me to kill this MF. He never cussed in his life, and then I didn't think nothing of it, but then I go out for the second camp, UFC 11, I go back out to Arizona, and we're driving to the gym one day, and I'm spilling my beans about me not being the perfect Catholic citizen. You know, so he felt the opportunity to cut in, and he told me who he was. He told me his situation. He said, I'm not really Richard Hamilton. It's witness protection program name, fake teeth. He was a big-time drug dealer in New York, and he ratted out a lot of people that forced him into being a witness protection, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, damn. Looking at the corner of my eye saying, that changes everything, don't it? Don't it change everything?
Yeah, tap the brake.
He's like a pastor at a church or something, right?
Pastor at a church, Christian, the whole shebang, but it was obviously a lesson learned. I had no problem with it, really. I didn't have no problem with who he was. If he would have told me from the beginning, I probably would have got along with him a lot better. But I had a problem with, for a month and a half now, he'd been lying to me, telling me he's Richard Hamilton, this and that. So now, when he cleared matters up, okay, I stuck with him. He was in my corner UFC 11, but after UFC 11, I'm done. with you, Mr. Hamilton. I got it from here. You know, I'm not coming out to Arizona. I'm going to be training in Columbus, Ohio. And, well, don't forget about that contract I signed. I didn't care though. I knew this day might come. I didn't care what that contract said. I knew I needed an end. But now, Richard, I'm not coming back out for you for the UFC first ever heavyweight champ. He wasn't in my corner versus Dan Severn, or was he?
I don't think so.
It's touchy. I might have waited till after the Severn fight because I kind of remember smashing his hand after I beat Severn. Was it him or not? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but it don't. Basically, I let him know. We're done, dude. We're done. I got this from here. Paid him what I had to pay him for those fights, this and that. But that contract, it had me pretty tied down for a long time. And, sure enough, I get hit with a lawsuit, breach of contract. Oh, man, that ain't no fun. We're going to go to court out in Arizona. But it was what it was. And I lost. He actually got in some trouble in between there.
Yeah.
He got charged with raping a young girl. I mean, the girl that was in his dojo. Just to get right to the point, but.
So was it like a child sex? Was it a child sex trafficking, or was it just an underage allegation?
That's kind of why we didn't like these karate instructors, because they acted like they were God up there, and that's what he was. He had a dojo and bowed down to this guy, whatever. He hooked up with an underage girl, and he got caught. He got caught, and he's in prison, but he's suing me while he's in prison. I'm thinking, man, he ain't gonna win this. He's in prison. How can he sue me for prison? It don't matter if you're in prison. He was right. I breached the damn contract, and he won a $150,000 settlement, which that's fair. He got me in the UFC. Pretty much worth 150 G's. I don't want to give it to that son of a bitch, but I ended up not having to give it to him because his lawyers fucked up.
That's good. Good. That's good. Yeah. And he's probably easy to find now too on some sort of registry as well. You kind of know where, so now you know where he lives.
So I went my separate ways. He wanted to build Team Phoenix. I was already thinking Hammer House was already on my agenda. And he come out with all these shirts, wear some Team Phoenix shirts into the cage. My daddy made me some Mark Coleman Hammer House shirts. He cried. He cried about it. That's how good he was. He cried to me. Yes. He's like, oh, I made these shirts. I said, look, dude, I'm done. I'm going on my own. Good luck to you. Go. Severn left you. Why'd Severn leave him? Why did Fry leave him? Because they kind of... Maybe he meant to them who he was. But they probably would have told me. But I don't know what he told them. They left him. I left him. There was a reason we left him. You could feel
the predator. Yeah.
The creepiness in him.
A lot of those traditional martial arts guys back in the 90s were cult leaders, basically.
So I'm talking about, it was, cult, whatever you want to call it. I didn't know his story until he told me. But even before he told me, I felt some creepiness in this guy. Okay? Severn left you, Fry left you. He was about to build the biggest empire ever. But somehow he blew it because he had Dan Severn, Don Fry. Now he's got Mark Coleman. Now he signed Mark Kerr. That's a plethora.
That's the top tier.
But he was looking to... He could have 25, 50 of us badass wrestlers, but it crumbled. And it crumbled when he got caught.
Okay. So you had mentioned Japan and Pride before. What was the backstage area like as compared to when you were fighting in the UFC?
Listen. Can I take a piss?
Go ahead, brother.
We getting any good footage here?
This is fucking excellent.
Okay. I told you it'd be good once we get started.
Man, brother.
6'9". My doctor said, "Hey, you got to help this West Sims guy out." I said, "What the fuck?" Because he didn't wrestle. He don't know shit. He's a basketball player. I said, "What do you want me to do for him? I got a hammer house, but I don't got no gym I'm running. That'd be way too much for my brain." Team hammer house. We trained at Ohio State, and we trained at this dojo, this and that. Well, so I got a 6'9" guy. I said, "Hey, West Sims, I want to see what 6'9" looks like." He said, "Well, I'll be there in a couple hours." I said, "Well, what the fuck, dude? I'm ready to go. I want to go get a workout in." "Why a couple hours?" He's like, "Well,
It's not good enough.
Well, he said, "Well, I live in Lancaster." I said, "What the fuck? You live in Lancaster? That's an hour away, How am I going to be able to work with this dude? I take everybody seriously. I mean, I work with him, but he shows up, I answer the door, and when I look down at his feet first, I'm like, what the fuck? That's way the fuck up here. But he was 215. Ricardo Reyes, 285. I said, "What the fuck?" I said, "You want to be a fighter, huh? What the fuck?" Went to Ohio State, wrestling room, just me and West Sims. We get in and I said, "Well, let's go. I don't teach nothing. We're just going to lock up and see what the fuck you got." Took him down. He can't stop a takedown. What the fuck? Boom, take him down, get in position.
It's an Olympic caliber wrestler.
I put him in a Dan Severn side headlock. And I'm cranking this motherfucker. He's strong farm boy. 215 strong farm boy. And I'm cranking it. Usually I tap people out in fucking 2 seconds. Boom, they tap right away. It's so much pressure. He's fighting it. I cinch it up a little tighter. Fucking 30 seconds goes by. I'm cranking it. I'm getting tired, man. My arms are getting tired. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I can hear him gurgling. He ain't tapping, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, man. This goes on for, I'm not lying or exaggerating one bit, 3 motherfucking minutes long. I got him in the same position. I'm not giving up, and I'm getting tired, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck. Finally, I said, God damn. I had to let go of the hold. And he fought it. I'm like, he got my attention right there. But then all of a sudden, I went right back to it. Whoop. The second time, he tapped it the second.
Got a better angle.
No. He fought it, everything he had, the first one. He had nothing left.
Okay.
And then I continued to whoop his ass for 45 minutes. Put an ass whooping on, got a workout in. We're driving home. I don't know this dude. Well, what do you think, man? You think maybe you ought to go back to college? I was just joking, kind of, but no, fuck that, man. I'm fine. I feel good, The next day, I figured his neck should have been falling off. Mm-hmm. He don't complain. I feel good. I feel fine. I said, "Well, get your fucking ass back up here and throw you around again. I need somebody." So I trained him for like 30 days. I was his coach. I was his master. I was his sensei. I was his hero. And I coached him like a wrestler. Hard. You want to be a fucking champ? This is what it takes. And one day I put him through a hell of a hard
Gauntlet.
workout.
You told me about the gauntlet you threw him through.
Just a Stairmaster. All it was a 10-minute fucking climb the real stairs. The real stairs are different than the Stairmaster. You can cheat on that. These are 3 rotating stairs, and if you don't keep up, you're gonna be on your fucking face. So I got him like a 15-minute, 10-minute, 30 on, 30 off. Keep climbing faster. It's a hard workout. He gets done with this bitch. He gets off, and he's like, just looking at me. And he looks at me. He goes, "I can't do this shit." And I said, "Well, what the fuck? You just did it. Practice is over. You just did it. Stand tall. Don't you feel great?" He's like, "Not everybody can train like you, Coleman." I said, "You just did it. You completed the workout. But anyways, we kind of agreed, shake hands. I said, okay. I said, I'll be your manager. I'll be your friend. I said, good luck. I said, better find some coaches up here in Lancaster, or dude, you know, you ain't got this shit yet. And well, Wes Sims didn't care if he had it or not. He comes back, he tells me, he goes, fight Dan Severn in 2 weeks. I go, what the fuck are you talking about? You fight Dan Severn? What? You know, I'm like, what the fuck? In hindsight, well, fuck yeah, I put him on the map. He got his ass whooped by Severn. He got his ass whooped, but I wanted to kind of milk him along a little bit. No, that wasn't Hammer House anyways. Don't milk nobody along. Throw you to the wolves. All my boys got thrown to the wolves. We didn't turn down nobody. We're going to fight the best at first and find out what we got. A lot of times. A lot of times. We keep going here, David.
Let's do it. Let's knock it out.
You knew that story about Sam.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so. Jesus Christ.
Also, plus, by the way, I said 215. I said, dude, because he was lovesick. He was going through his first ever high school sweetheart breakup. He was lovesick. He was a thin, anorexic, fucking skinny twerp. But he was going through love sickness. But now he met me, changed his whole world around. He got over that fucking bitch. And I said, look, dude, we got to get you up to 270. You know? Boom. When he got 240, holy fuck, he was strong at 215. At 240, he was super strong, but he didn't have my skills.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Mark, what was the difference in the locker rooms between Japan and the United States?
Difference in the locker rooms.
Was there a different feel, or was it all the same?
There's a different feel in any locker room. You know,
Similar feeling, you gotta go out there and fight, so different atmosphere, but same emotions going through your body, but
So Mark, after you left the United States, you went to Japan, and Saki Kabaro, who obviously is a pretty powerful guy in the sport of mixed martial arts, what was your relationship with him?
well, the
UFC was the only game in town for a while. The UFC was the only game in town. And, I lose three fights and lost. What am I going to do? I mean, I was a champ, and all of a sudden people are telling me, you're done, you're washed up, and your confidence is the most important thing. Well, somehow I lost three fights in a row. I had to figure out why. I had to figure out why. If you don't have a reason for losing, then basically you just lost and you suck. I figured out the reasons why and started training, but I had to find a place that's going to let me showcase my skills. And Pride was the big thing. They were up and coming, big company, and they searched me out, and they gave me a shot. Sakabara and the other people gave me a shot, so I'm flying into Japan. I got a new life, and I trained hard. I prepared. I wasn't done. I knew I wasn't done. But people write you off very quick. I did the preparation. I got the opportunity to fight in the Pride Grand Prix, and I need to shut people up. People saying I'm done. I'm not done. Prepared and shock the world. Win the Pride Grand Prix. I can't separate the victories. UFC 10 was amazing. Off the cops coming. I just beat three dudes up. I get a belt. I'm going to get paid. How cool was that? UFC 11 was a little bit of a letdown, although it was kind of cool that they couldn't find nobody to fight me in the finals. People really were scared of me. It was a good feeling. This is what I wanted as a kid. I want to be the best man on the planet. I would like to fought someone in the finals. Tank Abbott would have been nice. Fight him. Or Ferrozo. They didn't make it. Couldn't make it in the finals. All of them didn't want it. Don Fry was in the front row. I whooped Don Fry's ass UFC 10. He was in the front row UFC 11. And they had nobody to fight me. They kept coming back and throwing names at me. I said, sure, I don't care who it is. I just want to get this third one out of the way and give me another belt. And my paycheck. And us wrestlers, we liked attention. We didn't get attention. I want some attention. And they came back and they said, well, Don Fry. I said, Don Fry, what the fuck? He's sitting in the front row drinking some beers. What do you mean, Don Fry?
I didn't say it like that. I said in my head, I said, I don't care. That's his problem. Because I'm going to beat his ass worse. I mean, that's basically was my plan. Down fried, I just want to win, get my belt, get my paycheck, and get back to Columbus and chill for a second. But they decided no, nobody. And then danced for the title, but then three-fight losing streak. Now I'm in this pride. I got a chance to shine again. And the Pride Grand Prix 2000 was as big as it gets. It was the biggest, brightest lights I've ever been underneath at that point.
It's at that point, Pride and UFC hadn't really pulled out ahead of Pride. Like, Pride was pretty huge in terms of numbers.
UFC was the cult following. Everybody loved it, except the politicians. So it was the greatest sport in the world.
Yeah, they almost had their hand out, you know?
They had their hand out. Whatever. You got to fight the battles. You got to pay the fiddler. And Pride came along, and they had some money back in the company. Mark Kerr was over there. He left the UFC. He got a lawsuit. He left. He breached his contract because Pride wants him as their star. He's over there in Japan. I was envious or jealous. Pretty much similar word. I wanted what Mark Kerr was getting, and then they gave me the opportunity. I went over there, and I seized it. I prepared in the Pride Grand Prix. I wasn't on anybody's betting list. You know, a lot of people do send messages saying they bet on winning that thing. I'm thinking they're just maybe, nobody wanted to bet on me except maybe my mom and dad and a few close friends and myself. I bet on myself to win that damn thing. I was going to win it. And Mark Kerr was a good friend, a teammate, training partner. We had to go our separate ways, Kerr. We may have to fight in the semifinals here. And it would have been a war. Hey, Mark Kerr was a bad dude.
100%.
So when I was coaching him and helping him, I was also keeping my eye on him because I knew one day we're going to have to go at it. And when it started looking like more reality, we kind of had to go our separate ways, which was an advantage for me because I was a good coach. And I could have coached Kerr into possibly being able to beat me, But when we went our separate ways, I did my homework. And I wish Kerr would have did his homework because it's a fight that nobody got to see. Me versus Kerr. Not everybody, but a lot of people said Kerr's just a bigger, better, more athletic version of me.
Why didn't that super fight ever take place between the two of you?
It was supposed to happen. The super fight with me and Kerr was supposed to happen in the Pride Grand Prix.
But even afterward, were you ever approached with
Afterwards, things were different. After the Pride Grand Prix, he lost in the semifinals. I became the champ. Now it's got to fall together. It just never took place. It just never became the matchup. Kerr went his separate way. He had his issues. Watch the Smash Machine. I mean, it tells a big story.
One of the greatest documentaries ever.
I wish that wasn't the case, but I showed up at the Pride Grand Prix 2000 ready to beat Mark Kerr, Igor Vovchansin, Sakuraba, any one of them. I had my money on it. Kerr, unfortunately, he ran into some issues, which happened. And he didn't make it. He didn't make it to me. He actually did me a favor by beating the hell out of Fujita. You don't get lucky. You create your own luck. I created my own luck that night. I could have beat anybody that night, and I did. And then me, Mark Kerr, it's a question everybody's going to ask, who would have won that? I had to bet on myself. Love Mark Kerr to death, but I feel like my mind was a lot more powerful than his. And I'm not too sure he believed he could beat me. I knew I could beat him. And the mind is very powerful. But good friend, love him to death. We got a lot of stories. They're doing a great. The Rock's playing Mark Kerr in the movie. It's amazing. It's amazing. Mark Kerr was willing to put out his life on record, on film, the Smash Machine. There's a reason it's the greatest documentary ever. Mark Kerr was willing to show stuff that I wanted to show him.
Brutal honesty.
Brutal honesty.
Yep.
I showed
what I wanted to show him about my life. So I played this. I was this guy, but I could have easily been Mark Kerr. Just didn't show it. He showed it, which made it so amazing, so fantastic, so gut-wrenching, so turning. I didn't know. When I went to the opening, I didn't know what I was getting into. I know they had 500 hours of film. They're going to crunch it down in an hour and a half and tell a story. Wow. It's pretty big time. And
Randleman's cameo at the end, too, was incredible.
Pardon me?
Randleman, they had extra clips, and Kevin was given an interview where he talked about past sexual abuse that he had experienced. It was incredibly powerful from a fan perspective, watching somebody so dominant, you know, the monster, just to come right out and say where his pain came from. I watched that, the clip of him saying that about 5 or 6 different times to fully grasp it. Want to take a break?
No, I'm all right. Monster. My best friend. My brother. My partner. Some amazing times. A lot of great stories. I miss him. Everybody misses him. When the monster walked into a room, Kevin Randleman, he made his appearance known. He had his patented. He'd walk into a gym, and he let the whole gym know that the monster's here with his patented gorilla scream. And he just
That was his entrance?
all the time. Everybody stop, look over, and get excited. Kevin's in the house. We both like to bring that kind of feeling into the gym. We thrived off each other. I pushed him. I was his coach. But eventually, he was my coach. Not just in fighting, not just in wrestling. We taught each other a lot about life. He had a lot of good stuff that was uncoachable. I certainly didn't want Kevin Randleman to be telling me about life, but no, he's not here with us anymore. I look back and I was so blessed to be able to hang out with him, coach him, train with him, and live with him. Special man. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Any man. A lot of guys are deserving, but I can't think of anybody more deserving than what Kevin Randleman did. What he did was amazing. Go back. I didn't realize how amazing it was until he passed. Now when I see these highlights, I see how great he really was. Who the hell can forget what he did to Fedor?
Jesus.
You're talking a quarter inch from death. Of course, the Crow Cop. Those two stand out. They're etched in stone. They'll be remembered forever. But he did so many other great things. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I love that guy. I miss that guy. We're pretty tight.
All right, so you also, while in Japan, you did something that you hadn't done here in the States, and that was pro wrestling. And it appeared to be a little bit of a circus over there, like as a little more than it is here. You had one match in particular where I guess the pro wrestling match started to turn real.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with this, Mike. But actually, pro wrestling in Japan, it's a hell of a lot bigger circus here in America. They got it pretty organized down there. They got it pretty down, and it was more real. Here they got, a lot of talking, a lot of hyping, a lot of hair flying everywhere. And in Japan, it was more of it was real. Let's make this look like a real fight.
but also let's add some big suplexes in. I never suplexed anybody in my wrestling career. I wasn't a suplexer. It's risky. You only suplex somebody if you're down by 3 or 4 and you need some points. I wasn't a suplexer, but in pro wrestling, I became the suplex master because we're working together as a team. Wrestling, pro wrestling, something I always dreamed of and something I always wanted to do in America. Fighting came along. I had my shot, Shamrock made it big, and then Dan Severn got brought in there. He did okay. He just did okay, and then Tank Abbott, they brought him in there, and he got paid 3 years and didn't even have to wrestle once because his gimmick just didn't work. It's just the way it goes, but he got 3 years of pay. I'm happy about that. He signed a good contract. Well, Mark Coleman was next on the WWE's list. But they heard some stories. They weren't true.
Of course not.
They heard some stories about Mark Coleman. They might be uncoachable. They heard he was uncoachable, and it's very.
There was a party in Fremont. He doesn't do well at.
Very coordinated, well-organized deal, and they kind of actually had a meeting with Eric Bischoff, and Vince McMahon's right-hand guy. Had the meeting, but I think they came up with the conclusion that I was uncoachable. So I did get my shot over in Japan. I won the Pride Grand Prix. They didn't expect me to win the Grand Prix, so after I won that, Pride was lost, man. They were scratching their head. What are we going to do with Mark Coleman as our champ? He ain't our champ. He ain't got no charisma. He can't do shit. So the negotiation went on for 9 months. You got to get back in that cage after you win the Pride Grand Prix. You got to get back in there 3 months. You're fresh meat. They want to see you again. But they didn't offer no pay. Same pay as before the Grand Prix. What? I'm the champ. So negotiations stalled 9 months after. I still don't have no fight lined up. I'm still talking. Japan asked me if I could pro wrestle. I said, well, sure. I don't know if I could or not. I figured I could. Why not? So they bring me over there after I won the Pride Grand Prix. I did a main event pro wrestling match in front of 30,000 people. I've never done it. I got there 10 days before the show. I assume I'm going to go over there for 10 days and get 10 days worth of training in, learning this craft. They didn't call me the first day, which I'm fine with because I was
Jet lag, yeah.
I was jet lagged and I enjoyed chilling in that bed. It's just so comfy. But then day 2 they don't call me, day 3 they don't call me. I'm starting to get stressed because I got to perform in 7 days now. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I finally called the company like day 4. When am I going to practice this shit? And the lady that answered, she went to the higher up. Oh, Mr. Coleman, your opponent, Yuji Nagata, he's not going to be in Tokyo until Friday. I wrestle on Saturday, so he's not going to be here till Friday. I said, well, wait a minute. Whatever. I went with it. Just 9 days of just chilling in the hotel room, eating, sleeping, just chilling.
And thinking about what you don't know.
And then Friday night, I met up with the guy, and boom, we put, we made some simple plans. And it's on, and it's almost every bit as stressful as walking into that cage. I got to walk into this ring and perform, and I didn't know if I had the emotions or not, this and that. But when I got in there, pro wrestling's it's a hard dance, and the emotions came. This and that. I got the win. I beat a big superstar Japanese guy. I got the pin. I got the 3 count. Stood up, and I didn't have to act. It was real. I just went 21 minutes without any practice. Pro wrestling made it look really good, in my opinion. I guess everybody was okay with it, but then I won. and arms up, and it was almost as good as a feeling as winning the Pride or the UFC. You know, nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. Well, this pro wrestling came second. I was like, I did it. I did it, and I looked good doing it. And I walked back to the back room, and because of so much thinking you got to do in pro wrestling, you got to think so much. When I got back to the locker room, I'm pretty sure I might have threw up. You know what I mean? I puked. It was like such a relief, and it was tiring out there because you're thinking so hard. You're not just reacting like you are in fighting. You got to think so much. It's very easy to get winded. That's when you got to grab a headlock and tell the guy, chill out a little bit for a second.
Give me a second.
Great sport. Nothing but respect for those guys. A savage, killer hard life. People think it's easy to be a WWE champion. Oh man, you gotta pack your bags up 5 times a week and fly into a different city and have something prepared. Very stressful, very hard on these guys. I hate when people say the word fake. Fake is by far the worst thing to call pro wrestling. Predetermined? Yes. Fake? No. These guys have neck injuries, broken necks, broken backs, broken shoulders, everything because shit goes wrong out there and people get hurt. And it's a tough life. You gotta go grab your bag, pack it up, get on a plane, fly to the next city. Fly to the next city. Stopping back at home for a day or two off. Oh, that day or two off goes so damn fast. You're back on that plane heading to another city. So it takes a lot. Nothing but respect for these pro wrestlers. Japan, it was so awesome, so cool. I brought my buddy Ramlin into it. Duke could do anything. Ramlin could do anything. So we became a tag team partner over there. We were the American Dream Team. 2 killer wrestlers. And we were killing it. They liked us. We were killing it. But they realized they want to kill 2 time slots. Me and Randman together, we got 1 time slot. So they finally separated us because we were both good enough to carry our weight. We're singles wrestlers. Tag team was awesome. Now we're singles. Randman always picked up stuff from everybody. He picked up a little bit, and when he started the pro wrestling, he had a little Ric Flair in him. He had a little Macho Man in him. He had a little Hulk Hogan in him. He had a little Bill Goldberg in him. He had a little bit. He picked up from everybody. You know, I stuck to my 3 basic big moves, and they were big moves, so it worked out. But Randman, he liked to shine. The guy shined wherever he went. Kevin Randman shined. When he's about ready to compete, everybody in the arena somehow found blonde-haired, freaking nature monster. He might have jumped 3 feet, 4 feet in the air to get that attention. He didn't actually, but that just kind of added to it. You know, eyes on Randman.
Matt's back. So, I mean, that pretty much concludes it. Like, those are some of the bullet points. Jonah
What about the Hall of Fame? What about the... You missed everything. What's your problem? You gotta cut me off and get to the next question, dude.
Dude, you never talked about the Yakuza in the wrestling.
I know, that's a touchy subject.
Yes.
Dude, this is just great. This is just a practice. Yeah, we're good.
It's a great story. I'm in there with a pro wrestling match with a sumo guy who don't know this shit is scripted.
Yeah.
And he turned it into a real damn fight. I was not prepared because it was supposed to be a 2-minute wrestling match. All of a sudden, he's sumo plowing me in the face with his.
Those sumo guys don't look like athletes, but that's
he wasn't your typical sumo guy. He was a 23-year-old young, big, not many big, young, strong Japanese. He didn't look like your typical sumo guy. Nothing but respect for those guys. They're not fat, by the way.
Yeah.
They're huge monsters who have to eat 20,000 calories a day to be that huge. This guy was a change of sumo guy. He was an in-shape Japanese guy and turned it into a real match. And I hate this story because basically I said, I'm done. I said, fuck this. I left. I walked out of the ring because he wasn't following the plan. And caught me off guard. Once again, got caught off guard. Don't get caught off guard.
How many times do you think people tried to catch you off guard, and it just didn't work?
I guess check out my wins. Nobody planned on losing to me, but sometimes I got caught off guard too. Sometimes you get caught off guard. Sometimes you catch other guys off guard.
Yeah, when I was looking back at your record, I was noticing your first day as an MMA fighter. The first day you went 4-0. I couldn't think of
3 fights one night.
3 fights.
Not 4.
3, correct? Yeah, 3.
8-man tournament. 3 fights to be champ.
3-0 in one night. The Brazilian guys that were winning up to that point, they were coming in with records. And
Huge records.
And they
some manufactured.
And they designed the rules.
They were padded records, man.
Yeah.
It's called padding. Like the Fremont dude that whooped my ass on the streets, he padded his record to 1-0, but he was 0-1 actually. Yeah. Padded records.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to find this guy.
I'm surprised you and Marco Huas never went.
It's all about timing, It's all about timing.
I was always hoping to see
Marco
that.
Huas would have been a great matchup. It just never came together. I would have got him. I'm not gonna stand in front of Marco Huas, but he ain't gonna stop my double leg. And then I got worried about his jiu-jitsu, which was pretty good jiu-jitsu, but the headbutt was the equalizer. It wasn't fair. It wasn't really fair when the headbutt was legal.
Yeah.
So you freely admit, would you say that's the Mark Kerr rule or the Mark Coleman rule? The elimination of the headbutt?
Mark Kerr learned it from me. Okay? Mark Kerr watched me do it and said I need to add this to my repertoire. Because Mark Kerr, he didn't love fighting. He did not love fighting. I love fighting. This was the coolest thing ever. Mark Kerr did it because he was that good. He had to do it. He had no choice. He needed to get paid. Well, he didn't love going out there, but when you stick Mark Kerr out there and the clock starts, he showed the viciousness of Mark Kerr. He's going to stick his finger in your cut, try to rip your cut open, and if he has to, he's going to slam a Coleman headbutt into your face. But I would have been headbutting Mark Kerr. I love that guy. He's a great guy. Hopefully we're going to meet up here again soon. He's got the movie coming out about him. And, I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody having to play Mark Coleman. I'm going to have to go out there and teach some actor how Mark Coleman acts, which is pretty complicated.
I don't know if anybody in Hollywood's good enough looking.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about looking. No, nobody's good enough looking, but can they be as cool as Mark Coleman?
Is there an uncoachable actor out there?
Yes.
No, he better be coachable because I'll snap it. Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to play me in the Smash Machine. They were going to do a movie, a made-for-cinema movie about the Smash Machine. It was all lined up, going to film it in Africa. Jean-Claude Van Damme they had playing me. I was not happy about that. What the fuck, 180 pound, 175 pound, I don't do no spinning back kicks, Jean-Claude. You got to take that out of your plan. We wouldn't have seen eye to eye. Me and Jean-Claude, we would not. He would have said, "Get this guy out of here."
It's funny. He's known as the muscles from Brussels, and he's nowhere near big enough.
Well, but the camera puts on 10 pounds, gives you 10 pounds. So they would have had to give him some shoes to stand him up a little taller. But
check out the full interview on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms.